Hi Gina, hi Sarah. I saw you guys pop on. Ugh. I am colder than I thought I was, so I'm gonna cover up with my blanket. I'm sitting in my bedroom, tried to set the mood with it being a live on Hecate. I wanted to be in my room where her altar is. So I felt it was more appropriate to be up here. Hi Gina, hi Pixie, hi Christy, hi Sarah, hi Crystal's mom. I'm just gonna give it another minute or so. So originally I had planned to actually physically make, I'm sorry, I'm freezing, guys. And if I sound a little nasally, I apologize as well. I have some sort of ickiness going on all up in here. But I had originally, hi Serenity, planned to actually physically make a supper for Hecate. Today is actually Hecate's night. The 16th of November is a night to honor her. I'm trying, girl. I'm trying. It's cold here, and I know it's only colder. It's much colder, I should say, in Montana with all that snow you got going on out there. So I hope you stay warm too. But tonight is Hecate's night. It is a night to honor her and make a supper for her and take it to the crossroads as an offering to her, a pledge to her. Right now, I don't have it up. My temperature thing doesn't pop up on my phone unless I open my weather app. But I know it is cold. It's supposed to be, oh my goodness. It's supposed to go down to a high of 12 degrees during the day this weekend here in Ohio. My part of Ohio anyway. And although I have the thickness to keep me warm, I am not warm at all. So I'm not built for this type of weather. As I was saying, tonight is Hecate's night. It's a night to honor her, whether it be just doing some workings with her, doing meditation to her, for her, with her, calling on her, doing some spell work with her, making a supper and taking it to the crossroads and leaving it as an offering for her. This is her night. So this is the perfect night to summon her and do some workings with her. But in honor of her tonight, I am going to talk to you guys about Hecate's night and give you some ideas on making Hecate's supper if you were to choose to do so. If you decided you wanted to work with her, or if you already do and supper is not something that you normally do, or if you don't celebrate Hecate's night, this is kind of just an informational type of live to give you some information on doing so if you were to choose to do so. So I am going to go ahead and get started after I wet my whistle here. If the music in the background is too loud, just let me know and I will turn it down. Okay. So, for those of you who don't know, Hecate is my main deity. She came to me at a time in my life. She tends to come to people at a time in their life when they are going through a life change, or when they're going through something that is, it's actually on YouTube, Gina. I looked up dark meditation, and it was the first one that popped up on there. It is called Deep Cello Meditation Music, Dark Meditation Music. I got it playing on my TV. Let me flip my camera around right fast so you can see, and you might be able to. That is the background of it and the picture that'll show on YouTube. So anyway, Hecate comes to those who have weak moments. Hi, Kirsten. They have weak moments. They are going through some troubling times in their lives. Essentially, if you are at a crossroads in your life, that is when she is most prone to come to you. She is very prone to come to women, more so than men. Not saying she doesn't call to men, because she does. But she is a protector of women. She's all about justice for women and children, especially sexually abused women, physically abused women, mental abuse. She's all about getting justice for women, which is one of the main reasons I work with her. I'm all about justice for one, and not just, criminal justice, but that being the field that I'm going into. I believe that everybody, deserves to be held responsible for their wrongs in some form or another, whether it be through the actual criminal justice system, or whether we hand it over to our deities in the universe to have them handle it and serve up that karma that is so rightly deserved. So Hecate came to me. It was a very, very rough time in my life. I was at a point that I was contemplating ending my life. It was a very, very bad time in my life. And I was helping my landlord clean a house that had been abandoned by some tenants after their mother passed away. They took the things that they wanted and left so much stuff behind. And as I was walking through the kitchen, something fell on me. It hit my right shoulder and fell to the ground. It was metal. I heard the clank of metal hit the floor. And when I looked down, matter of fact, when I looked down on the floor, this was laying there. As most of you know, or if you don't know, skeleton keys are one of Hecate's symbols, main symbols. Her book, Keeping Her Keys. This key looks exactly like the key that's on this book. When this key fell, I had no idea why. I had not known anything about Hecate, but I kept it. And then for the next 2 weeks, I dreamt of her. I didn't see her face, but I saw her name over and over and over again in my dreams. I saw black dogs in my dreams. I saw owls in my dreams. I saw a figure. I wouldn't say a woman because I couldn't identify if it was a man or a woman, in a black cloak, and I saw white hair hanging out of the cloak, but I couldn't see a face. The hood was so long that it covered the entire face, and I'm sure most of you have seen how A lot of people will walk around in robes with their arms like this in the robes. In my dream, they just stood like this with the cloak down over their face and the white hair hanging down to both sides. And I just kept seeing her name, the owls, the barking black dogs, snakes, torches. I felt at one point like I was in like an old crypt. There were torches hanging on the walls. I could hear water dripping, but it was like an endless tunnel that I was in, and there was no end to it. I couldn't see an end in sight. I couldn't see a light at the end of the tunnel. But anyway, I kept having these dreams, reoccurring dreams, for about 2 weeks. And I started Googling different things that I saw in my dreams. And then I spoke with somebody, and for the life of me, I cannot remember who, but somebody told me that they felt like Hecate was calling to me. And it turns out that she was. A lot of times they say it's rare for her to choose you, but instead it's you summoning her to want to work with her. And it was the opposite for me. She chose me. I think she knew I was at that point in my life, and she knew I needed her guidance and her support, and I have been working with her ever since. It's been a remarkable and amazing experience working with Hecate. So if you don't work with her, I want to educate you a little bit about her. And Hecate's night and Hecate's supper. So hopefully you will open your heart and open your mind to learning more about her, and maybe possibly honoring her as your deity one day. So who is Hecate? Hecate, it's also spelled Hecate instead of Hekate, is the Greek goddess associated with magic, witchcraft, necromancy, underworld, and childbirth. Greek mythology provides conflicting answers to the question of Hecate's origins, but the most common answer is that she is the daughter of the Titan Perseus. It wasn't by birthright, but because Zeus paid special honor to her, that she became a co-ruler of 3 realms: the sky along with Zeus, the sea along with Poseidon, and the earth and the underworld along with Hades. Since her power extends to all things, it's always good to invoke her, no matter who else you pray to and what you are praying for. She is the goddess of the 3 paths, the goddess of the crossroads, both physical and spiritual. As the triple goddess, Hecate rules the realms of earth, sea, and sky, the conjunction of past, present, and future, as well as the moon, earth, and underworld. Hecate's threefold rulership is often symbolized by portraying her as the goddess with 3 bodies, or in other words, as the 3 goddesses. As the moon goddess Selene, with the power of birth, she rules above the earth. On earth, she is Artemis, who preserves life. Below the earth, she holds sway as Persephone, the bride of Hades, and controls death. Hi, Laura. Hecate is considered by many as the protectress of the oppressed, the marginalized, and witches, as the goddess of the in-between, the liminal spaces, the boundaries, and the traditional times of life, including birth and death. She carries a torch for illumination. I love that. This illumination is not just of the dark, but of our personal pathways, especially our shadow side, guiding us through our choices at the crossroads and the path we eventually choose. Now, onto, my leg's falling asleep. Onto Hecate's night. Would a triple goddess statue work as a statue to represent her? It would, Serenity. You just need to dedicate it to her. I personally have 2 different statues on my altar for her. I have a brass one and then I have what looks like a marble one. They are both holding torches, the tall torches. She is wearing a crown. In the brass one, she is wearing a cloak. In the marble looking one, ivory type looking one, she has dogs on the ivory one, and she has a snake wrapped around her on the brass looking one. But you can use, you can use the triple moon goddess as a symbol to represent her. Just dedicate it to her. So onto Hecate's night. Although she has been historically celebrated at various times in modern Western culture, Hecate naturally associated with the time around Halloween. We also connect her to the season of fall in general, which is analogous to the waning moon. Hecate's time is that of the dark moon, the time of release and renewal. I have 3 different ones to represent different aspects of her as well. That's awesome, Gina. I love that. I'm working on a 3rd statue. I want it to be a little more special. There's so many of them out there that I want the perfect one to represent her in her crone status. The 2 that I have, I feel represent her as the maiden and the mother. Personally, I've passed my maiden stage, and I feel like I am in my mother stage, transitioning towards my crone stage. So I think the closer I get to actually being in my crone stage is when I will go ahead and get the 3rd statue for her, to represent that aspect of her. But I have a picture of her. I have a photo of her wheel that Ronette had actually gifted to me. And I have a photo of the 3-bodied version of her on my wall as well. I think I've showed you guys my altar before for Hecate. It's a little bit of a mess right now, so I'm not going to show it off. But it is my... that corner of my room is my favorite part of my entire house. Okay, so Hecate is also honored on the 30th of each month, at the dark moon, and at the beginning of sunset on November 16th, and until sunset the next day each year, known as the Night of Hecate. So, Hecate's night, you want to host a sacred supper for the goddess. Ancient devotees of the Greek goddess Hecate celebrated with elaborate feasts and festivals. If you are a devotee today, consider hosting a special supper on Hecate's night. This is an elegant, sacred meal dedicated to the Greek goddess of the crossroads, with traditional foods and good witchy friends. It's the ideal dinner party, essentially. I have left my maiden stage once I found out about my little one, and now I'm grateful to be in the mother stage. I love that, Serenity. I really want a chthonic version of her for an altar. Would you mind sharing that with me, Gina? What exactly that is? I've not, can't say that I've heard of that version. I'm so excited for you, Serenity. Even from a distance, that little baby's gonna be spoiled. The ancient Greeks loved to party. Hecate was once a widely worshipped goddess, with her main cults located in Eleusis and I cannot pronounce this word. I apologize if I butcher it. Samatharek Island. Elaborate feasts and festivals were thrown every year in her name, but when her followers weren't in a temple, they were meeting her at the crossroads with a special Hecate's supper. So, if you want to envision I'd love to see that, Gina. Like, that sounds very intriguing, and it'd be freaking beautiful, I think. If you get that before me, you're gonna have to let me see that. So just picture this. It's the dark moon. It's a quiet night. It's dark and it's warm. Being November 16th in Ohio, it's not exactly warm. You're carrying a lantern and a basket of offerings, a bottle of wine, preferably red for me, and a steaming hot loaf of fresh bread. Homemade fresh bread. Your friends, also your coven mates, are meeting at the crossroads deep in the woods behind the old town cemetery. Tonight is the night to celebrate your matron goddess Hecate. You round the corner and see other bouncing lantern lights glowing in the darkness ahead. As you walk closer, a long wooden table with benches is illuminated with candlelight. There's laughter and anticipation in the air. You take a seat beside your best friend, and you're surrounded by your coven. As you raise a toast in Hecate's name, a dog howls in the distance. This is Hecate affirming her presence. You all feast on Hecate's supper and enjoy one another's company in the wild wood. Wine, homemade bread, fish, and fruit is shared among you and your friends and your coven mates. After the feast is over, the remnants are given as an offering and left at the crossroads. You don't ever turn and look back. When you are offering supper to Hecate, you want to stand and wait to see if you hear, and she will tell you if she is there. You could hear an owl. You could hear, most people hear dogs barking in the distance. The best place, like I have a crossroads right out here in front of my house. And I live off of a busy highway. I have left many offerings at this crossroads for her. That's why you need to move to Ohio's Serenity. Right now. Living in the country is an ideal place to find a crossroads that's deserted, where you don't have the hustle and bustle of the city, to where you can't spend some moments listening and waiting for a sign. You can also make your own crossroads, as in this vision that I put out there for you. The crossroads was made in the woods behind an old cemetery. If you know of an old cemetery in your area and you're able to do so, I'm getting to that, Gina. Give me just a moment. If you're able to find a place to create a crossroads, it's typically a 4-way crossroads, but it can be 3 in the shape of a T, and you would leave your offering here at this T. If you do it at the crossroads, you would put it in the dead center of the crossroads. When you place the supper at the crossroads or at the T, you don't turn around and put your back to the offering. You back away and don't ever turn your back to that offering that you left for her. So how to host a Hecate supper. Hecate's night is traditionally held on November 16th. This is the night she haunts the crossroads with her hounds. November 16th is also a night to initiate oneself or others under Hecate. Her feast day is January 31st. However, Samhain and the nights of the dark moon are also appropriate. Other days honoring Hecate in Greece include August 13th, which is the day offerings are left at the crossroads to appease Hecate's wild, stormy side. Oh, I'm so stuffed up. I'm so sorry, guys. I sound horrible. What kinds of food do you recommend besides breakfast and wine? Do you recommend a traditional crossroads or 3 of 3 or 1 of 4? What do you think of finding a crossroads within your yard, midpoint at cardinal directions? I have a maple sprouting in my yard at a little point like this in my yard. I thought of leaving a plate at the base. You can literally make a crossroads anywhere, Laura. If it could be in your backyard, it can be out here in the corner of my house at the end of my road. It's a dead end on 2 roads, and I have the road that travels here in the front of my house, and then I have the road that travels this way behind my house. And it's a dead end down this way, and it's a dead end down this way. So I can leave an offering there. You can literally leave them anywhere. If you create your own crossroads in your yard or in the middle of the woods, walking paths, as a matter of fact, if you have trails. I have a trail on the opposite side of the highway. It's called the Towpath Trail, and there are multiple crossroads in the trails throughout the trails. You could stop there and leave a crossroads or leave an offering and consider it the crossroads. What matters is your intention of the supper, and your offerings to her, your dedication to her, your honoring of her. So she is going to appreciate no matter what effort it is that you put in to creating a crossroads and creating the supper and honoring her and dedicating it to her, whether it be in your backyard or out in the middle of BFE or in the woods behind a cemetery. It's all in how you do your dedication to her. So I hope that answers your question. Jody, I would love to come over there so bad. So the ambiance for Hecate's night, whether you host supper inside or out, the ambiance should be dark, low lighting, candlelight is best, lanterns, hurricane lamps, and oil lamps to help set the mood. Plates and napkins should be of dark colors, black, maroon, or shades of purple. Hecate particularly loves red and black. Incorporate these colors into the tablecloth centerpiece and invitations. Give every guest a skeleton key as a token to remember Hecate's night. As I mentioned before, the skeleton keys are one of her symbols. Flowers like dark red roses or black hollyhocks. A moon and stars motif would be perfect too. It's best to keep the dinner as quiet as possible. Play classical piano or violin music on low. That's odd because I saw this and just clicked on it, and I didn't even realize that the violin music was in my notes. Place a statue or representation of Hecate at the head of the table. If you can host Hecate's night supper at the crossroads, that's even better. Why? Don't give up, Heather. My inbox is always open if you need some advice or help or anything that you might need. Definitely don't want you to give up. Patience is key with our deities. And patience pays off in the long run. I promise you that. So traditionally, Hecate loves garlic, fish, honey, eggs, cheese, mushroom, cakes, and wine. Consider using this menu or build your own using each one of Hecate's traditional offerings that I just mentioned. Hecate should be set a place at the table and left offerings after the dinner is done. Alternatively, instead of cooking everything yourself, you can also ask your friends to bring a dish or a beverage as part of the offering. In other words, kind of like a potluck. As you're setting the table, or as your guests arrive, invoke Hecate's presence by inviting her to join for supper. Let her know she is the reason for the feast. Has she ever been assisted with certain colors besides red or black? She's actually associated with quite a few colors. I don't have my book right here in front of me that says exactly. I lost my bookmark. So one of these books, I of course have book recommendations that I will share once I am finished with the live. My apologies, I'm just looking real fast for. So there's red, amber, black, bronze, copper, purple, saffron, silver, and white that are associated with Hecate serenity. For drinks, red wine, a Cabernet or Merlot, as wine was sacred to the ancient Greeks and was no doubt given as an offering to Hecate. Mead, honey wine isn't traditional to Greece, but Hecate loves honey, so this drink is also appropriate. Also water. You want to pour a glass for Hecate first, then clink the glasses together like you're toasting, and toast in Hecate's name before partaking in the wine, mead, or water. Clinking glasses also scares off spirits, and toasting to Hecate is traditional of Hecate supper, hosting Hecate supper. So some appetizers. Dolmas, which is otherwise known as stuffed grape leaves. Midea, which is red mussels steamed in red wine and herb sauce. I can't say this word to save my life. Charcuterie board, which includes cheeses, meats, hard-boiled eggs, honey, jams, apricots, olives, and other foods of those sorts, nuts and stuff, fruits. Remember to always, always, always serve Hecate first before the rest of your dinner party, out of the utmost respect for Hecate. I've never had stuffed grape leaves. That's something very intriguing that I am wanting to definitely try. Red mullet and caper sauce. Red mullet is sacred to Hecate and traditional at Hecate night suppers. Marinated mushrooms. Mushrooms are also traditional to Hecate. Sorry about that, guys. Homemade rosemary garlic bread with Mediterranean herb butter spread. If you guys want any of these recipes, I can get them, so just let me know. Send me a message. Can we do supper for her any other time than tonight? You absolutely can. Any of the other nights that I had mentioned in here, August 13th is one of them. Any night on the dark moon, on any dark moon, you could do it. August 13th, you can do it. November 16th, you can do it. Trying to find the other page. There's the other page. She's honored on the 30th of each month, the dark moon, and at the beginning of sunset on November 16th and until sunset the next day each year. So you could do it at the end of each month. You could do it at each dark moon. You could do it on November 16th. You could do it on August 13th. Yeah, those are the main. And January 31st, my apologies. January 31st is also another night that you could host a supper. Girl, yes, please do. I'm all for it. Dolmas are amazing. I've still never had baklava. I still can't. Baklava. It's really yummy, but it is extremely, extremely sweet. Yes, Laura, the 30th of the month or the newer dark moons. Aw, Kirsten, you're gonna give me the chills. I love that. I absolutely love that. A lot of people don't really notice the signs until somebody essentially spells it out for them. You could be seeing all of these things and not even realize that they could be signs of Hecate calling to you or wanting to work with you. So that makes me extremely happy that the things that I have talked about are essentially slapping you in the face. She could actually, with the things that you're going through right now, I would do some research and I would meditate to call to her and try to do. I know you haven't. You've been sick and everything, and all the stuff that's going on with you. Just set aside some time to. I was ready to fall asleep, but my phone kept vibrating, and I was pulled in. Girl, you need to message me, and that makes me so happy. I would love nothing more than to spread every bit of knowledge that I have about my I call her my queen. I love Hecate as though she were my flesh and blood. I've never felt a stronger connection with anything in my entire life. So, most definitely, I do some research on her. That makes me giddy. I'm happy to hear that. I will share my books that I have at the conclusion of this. I don't have too much more to go through. Okay, so desserts. Greek honey cake, which is fruit, including pomegranates, figs, navel oranges, apples, and peaches. During Hecate's night, ask each individual to share their thoughts and experiences with the goddess of the crossroads. Read aloud poems and myths that honor Hecate. Sing songs. You might even consider allowing party guests to bring their canine friends and provide doggy treats. This would please Hecate immensely. So ending Hecate's night with traditional offerings. If you hosted Hecate's night at the crossroads, it's traditional to leave the remnants for the goddess and her hounds. But there are two things you must do. Don't leave anything at the crossroads that's not perishable. That includes no plates, cups, no cutlery, no type of dishes unless it is perishable. Don't litter, essentially. Once you leave the offering at the crossroads, do not turn around and look back. So that's what I have for you guys in regards to things that you can offer for her for the Hecate supper and how to host a Hecate supper. a little ritual that, yes, Christy, thank you very much. I forgot what the word was, biodegradable. Thank you so very much. I have a little ritual that you could do on Hecate's night. Hecate's ancient devotees held dinners in honor of her known as Hecate Supper on Hecate's night. Food offerings consisting of any of the following that Hecate and her dogs love are served: wine, honey, crescent-shaped bread and pastries, eggs, garlic, fish, mushrooms. These offerings of food are both consumed by those celebrating and left out by the front door of the crossroads between indoors and outdoors, between one's private space and public space, or at a crossroads on a perishable plate or flat stone. If you don't have biodegradable plates, you could also find a flat stone to offer it on a flat stone. You leave it as an offering to Hecate as she roamed the earth by night with her sacred dogs, and to invite her blessings for those who dwell inside. Make your invocation and petition. This is a good time to ask for her assistance to release something from your life, and then walk away without looking back. Encountering or hearing a dog is an indication that your petition has been heard by Hecate and her sacred dogs. On this night, it is good to acknowledge Hecate's strength, recognize her as the ultimate protector of all realms of existence. So that is what I have for you guys on Hecate and Hecate's night. I could honestly talk about her for hours on end, but I can't do that. I still have homework to do tonight. I need to take some cold medicine and fold a load of laundry. So I'm going to end this with some book recommendations. I would suggest, as I hold them up, I would suggest taking a quick screenshot so you have the photos. The one that I already held up is Keeping Her Keys. This was the very first book that I had of Hecate's. This is honestly my favorite one that I have. I have Hecate Liminal Rights. The bottom here says a study of the rituals, magic, and symbols of the torch-bearing triple goddess of the crossroads. And then I have Hecate Keys to the Crossroads, a collection of personal essays, invocations, rituals, recipes, and artwork from modern witches, priestesses, and priests who work with Hecate, the ancient Greek goddess of witchcraft, magic, and sorcery. Thank you for such a wonderful live. Thank you, great live. The one I have is Entering Hecate's Garden. I got that one too. And you're welcome. I was very happy to be able to do this. Then I have Pagan Portals, Hecate, a devotional. Which, it's odd, because in my dream, minus the face, this is what I saw in my dream. The white hair, the cloak, the hood, shrouded over the face, but covering the entire face. Then I have Bearing Torches. This is a devotional anthology for Hecate. You're welcome. I've thought about creating a group just for Hecate, to spread knowledge and information about her, but I am shutting down Enchanted for now because I need to focus on my studies, and once I finish my degree, I plan to start up again and switch gears a little bit and focus a lot on her. Entering Hecate's garden. The magic, medicine, and mystery of plant spirit witchcraft. I have the Temple of Hecate. Vibrant and exciting collection of modern rituals and practices exploring the mysteries of the goddess Hecate. This one's got a soft cover to it too. Yes, I definitely want to do so. I just need to focus on my degree. I'm in my last semester, well, my second to last semester. Once I finish this semester, I have one more semester and I will graduate in May of 2023. And I have 5 classes that semester, so I want to be able to make sure I'm pretty focused on getting those last 5 classes done and graduating with the highest GPA that I can possibly get. And then, last but not least, I have Hecate, Goddess of Witches. This is actually one of my favorite ones. Courtney Weber, the author, takes us on a journey through the lore, legends, history, and mythology of Hecate, ancient goddess of crossroads, ghosts, and witchcraft, and also perhaps the most beloved goddess today. While exploring the relevance of Hecate for today's pagan practitioner, Weber provides tools, techniques, practices, and suggestions for incorporating Hecate into your own personal magical and spiritual journey. Each chapter focuses on a different aspect of Hecate, exploring original mythology, historical context, and contemporary connotations, concluding with spells and personal rituals. The final chapter is a grimoire full of rituals, offerings, and other practices to help readers connect with this extraordinary goddess. This book also explores magical ethics, what it means to be a witch in the 21st century, and best practices for successful witchcraft. So I highly recommend this one, as well as Keeping Her Keys. Keeping Her Keys is more of a interactive type of book. It's got lessons in it for you to do, as well as the very first chapter is a dedication. If I could find it. Yes, it's called a course commitment ritual, which is in the Keeping Her Keys book. Throughout each lesson in this book, there's an activity or a lesson for you to complete at the end of it. So Keeping Her Keys and Hecate, Goddess of Witches are my number 1 recommendations, but you can't go wrong with any of these. This is what the collection that I have at the moment, but I have an endless list of books that I still want to get. I could read and read and read on Hecate all day long. And as I said, once I get through my last semester in college, I will definitely be bringing back Enchanted, and we're going to switch gears in there. I will continue with doing reads, but I think I'm going to focus it on teaching about deities, primarily Hecate, and we'll see where it develops from there. It's alright, you guys. You can catch the replay. I'm about to hop off of here so I can get some things done before I have to go to bed. I've still got some homework to do tonight. You're very welcome. Don't forget to message me, Heather, Kirsten, you as well. I'm excited to help both of you along this path if I am able to do so. And any of the rest of you, if you have any questions or anything, don't hesitate to put them in the comments section or send me a private message. I will get to them as soon as I am able to do so. I'm very excited for you, Kirsten. The fact that you had a revelation and felt the pull to, yes, Serenity, I will get those recipes for you. I'll send you the link to them, as a matter of fact. As soon as I can get it pulled up, I'll probably do that tomorrow, if that's okay. But Kirsten, I'm very happy that you felt the pull to come watch the live and got that smack of a little bit of a revelation. So I'm very, very happy to hear that. For everybody, my inbox is always open if you've got any questions. I hope you enjoyed the information. Can you send me the recipes as well? Yes, ma'am, I can. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'll private message it to you too, and I will post it in the live, not in the comment section, but the live itself. So the link will be there for anybody who wants the recipes that I mentioned in the live. I'm also walking down a new path with Hecate. See, guys, I love her, and that makes me so very happy to see that so many people want to work with her, or if they are currently working with her, are starting down a new path with her. She's amazing, and you can definitely not go wrong with this goddess. So I will talk with you all soon. Message me, Heather, and message me, Kirsten. We will have conversations, and I will get that recipe link to you guys. Buy the books, read the books, educate yourself. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me a message. I will, next Sunday, I believe, I will see you all again. We are making a weight loss poppet next Sunday night. So I will see you all then. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening. Blessed be.